everyone, this is group 34 seating area design process. So the first step in our final design was the research and exploration part. We decided to take a bunch of different parts from each one's collage, and we looked at the basic outdoor seating with benches, using the question solve, test, reflect, and refine model. So we were really drawn to the idea of having a nice bench where you could communicate with others, as well as like it being outside and having shade. So that's basically what our main research idea was.
Okay, so while we were talking in our original discussions, the matrices helped us a lot to understand the total constraints of all these seating areas. So we had all these different ideas going into it: the aesthetics, the cost, the environmental problems, how much it would last or whatnot. And a big purpose that we had for this seating area that we chose was a regional value. So we wanted to choose a seating area that was good pretty much in any region, and that budget wise would be able to mostly anybody would be able to afford, and it would also be as comfortable and aesthetically pleasing as possible.
When it came to our original sketch ideas, the 4 on the right were catered to our personal needs and wants. It was very much just for us. We wanted a seating as a group that could benefit all communities and people. And so we ended up choosing the design on the left, which was Andrew's seating area, because it had the most potential to be in a community setting.
So one of the things that we wanted to show was flexibility and the spectrum of what we were trying to design. So we had one basic design that could be very flexible depending on the client. So we were talking about the materials for our design being marketed using different price points with attention to users' budgets and or depending on the type of locale that it would be installed in. So we were thinking about the needs of the client might be different, say if they were planning on using it on a, say, private residential space as opposed to a private business or a school campus. And the same of this would apply to the color choice as well. And in one of the lectures featured in the designer studio, Brad Jones had discussed the concept of primary and secondary packaging in order for a company to reflect different price points of a seemingly identical product. In our case, we wanted to give the customer the idea to customize really and cater it to their needs. And the possibilities were endless. So we wanted to allow the choice of material types, be it wood, galvanized steel, synthetic resin, concrete, nylon, polyurethane, and PVC, as well as aluminum, which was a really nice price point as well, starting at the bottom. The idea, again, being based on whatever they would need in terms of budget or aesthetically pleasing. And each one would be hopefully as sustainable as possible.
All right, so all of this kind of culminated in our final design. We actually came up with a couple different models to showcase this adaptability and this kind of one-size-fits-all design that could be scaled to, you know, fit a lower budget, very public space, or potentially be built out using maybe more expensive materials, but still serving the same function, and could be used in potentially a private space or a little bit more upscale area. And we kind of pulled together all of our design principles and ideas that we wanted to incorporate and stuck them into one model. And as you can see here, we just threw kind of a couple different texture / material options onto the model to showcase how it might look a little bit. So on the far left here, we've got a solar conical top that is also like a sunshade / rain shade. We've got aluminum for our posts for the seats and the table, and then either a wood or composite for the table itself, the surface there, and then a composite for the benches as well. And then on the far right, we have, other than the solar panel top, we have completely molded recycled plastic, which tends to be pretty cheap and durable, and could be in like a public park, something like that, and a city could afford something like that if we wanted to have this in a more urban space. That is our design.